Hey guys, so today I brought on my lovely mother and we're going to talk about some period things that you guys have asked. I sent out a question on Twitter asking if you guys had any questions for my mother, and so we're going to go through those first. Darling Kimberly Karimsky wants to know, when is the right time to talk to your kids, and should boys be included in the conversation too?
That is a good question. I think eventually they can be included, but I think initially, I would want to talk to my daughter by herself and make her think, not make her believe that this is all so special just for her. And then eventually ask her if she'd want to share it with her brother, what's going on. And I think it's more open nowadays than what it once was. Mm-hmm. It's not so secretive.
Mm-hmm. I think I kind of beat it into the boys when they were in high school.
Well, yeah, you beat it into everybody.
Yeah, but now they're very well versed.
Yes, they are they're very comfortable with the whole situation.
So what age do you feel like is the right time to start talking about puberty and periods and all of that? Do you think there's a time at which it's too young, or?
No, I don't think so. I think any more, maybe about 9, 10 would probably be a good age. Mm-hmm. I think there's more out there in the media than there once was, so I think that's really different than when you were growing up.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Yes and no. I think the constant sexuality of, making girls into sex objects is a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, maybe I think you need to.
Okay, Little Black Heart asks, for me, is there anything you wish your mom had told you that she didn't?
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot, aren't you?
It's kind of hard. I've thought plenty of times about looking back, but I think I was just like a skittish, scared girl, and so I was really embarrassed to talk about things. Mm-hmm. But I wish, I remember you gave us a book, and I really liked that book. I, pored over it, and I was trying to compare myself to, the cartoon characters in it, when am I gonna get boobs? Uh-huh. But I don't know if we ever actually, sat down, not that I necessarily would have wanted to, but, sat down and talked about periods. Because I felt like we were taught, I think we had, health class in 6th grade, but I don't know if because, even going into it in high school, I didn't know what was going to happen. So maybe an actual talk, but I don't know if I would have wanted that when I was that age.
I made my mom go through the talk, even though I knew everything that was there.
You were like, Mom, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about this?
Gosh, we were driving to the store, and we were in the little VW Volkswagen Bug, and I made her explain stuff to me, and it was more fun seeing how uncomfortable she was. So I think that's more why I did it.
Okay. Do you think you would have been, embarrassed or nervous if we came up? I mean, I don't know if Veronica came up and was like...
Oh, no, Veronica never approached me. I think you were more literature, book learning kind of kid.
But I don't think I actually told you when I got my period. I think you guys found out because pads are disappearing.
It could have been.
I think it was. And then you're like, I know you have it. Maybe. So then she asked, for you, is there anything you wish you would have taught or taught different?
To you guys?
Yeah.
I think looking back, and gosh, how many years is this now? I think knowing what I know now, I think it would have been more fun to maybe take a weekend, go to maybe a hotel, and just really make it something fun and special, just the two of you girls. Yeah, just kind of clebrate being women. I think that would have been a lot of fun, looking back now.
What are your thoughts, going off of that, what are your thoughts of, menarche parties or, first period parties?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Going back, would you, throw us a first period party?
I didn't know what a first period party was. My gosh, I feel ancient.
You're not ancient. I think first period parties are more ancient than you are.
Probably, but I didn't...
menarche ceremonies?
Yeah. It wasn't from where I was from, so...
That's okay. I think you did an okay job.
Okay.
So, Savannah asks, she says, my mom and I are BFFs, but she's weird about girl stuff. So how do I make sure I don't act the same way with possible future kids?
It'd be nice if you could get your mom more comfortable in what you're feeling, whether it's trying a new product out there on the market, or if you hear something, or maybe your friends are talking about something and you're not really kind of clear about it. I mean, nowadays we have the internet. Google's my best friend, but it would be nice if you go up to your mom and say, Mom, I'd like to talk about this, and just kind of open up that whole dialogue between your mom and yourself. So,
what about people that are like their 20s? What about people my age and say, we didn't have a great relationship and we never really talked about period stuff? Do you think
you can always change it for the next generation?
Yeah, but do you think like going back and trying to like broach the subject again with your mom is a good idea?
Yeah, I think you can always do that. Especially if you think you're really good friends with your mom. I think we're pretty good friends.
Yeah, and I think I just kind of I would like barge in and be like, did you hear about this? Or what do you think about this? Or do you remember when this happened? Yeah. I think I've forced a lot of stuff on you.
Yes, you have. You've made me go back and revisit a lot of things.
I think that's a good thing, though.
Yes.
I would say for you, Savannah, that you obviously have a good relationship with your mom, and I'm sure you'll have a good relationship with your daughters. But you're going into it knowing that you want to have a more open relationship surrounding puberty and periods and girl stuff. So I think just wanting that you're going to do it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just make sure to have an open conversation with your daughter. That's what I would say.
Yes, very good.
Okay. One question that I get over and over again is teenage girls or young girls are really scared of the idea of having to go and ask their mother, father, grandmother for tampons. And then other ones are also nervous. They've gone and talked to whoever it was. I think one girl was a grandma, and the parents aren't too keen about tampons because they think there's something sinful or sexual and they're going to lose their virginity. So what would you say to like girls wanting to talk to, as a mother, what's the best way to approach parents about
as
wanting
a daughter
tampons?
Approaching a mother?
Yeah, no, from your view as a mother.
Oh.
What's the best way for daughters to approach?
I think they just need to come out and say, Mom, I want to try this. And I think it's so much more acceptable nowadays than it was way back when. It's not, I don't think it's looked upon. It's just more, I think, as convenience using tampons. Especially if you're into sports, do swimming or anything else. It's just a little bit more convenient. It's so much easier than pads.
I think there's a number that their mothers have always used pads and they don't feel comfortable with tampons, and so they don't necessarily want their daughters using them. What would you say for like the moms or the grandmas that think like that tampons are going to take away virginity? How do girls like go up to them and be like, no, that's not true?
Google.
Okay. I guess that's true. Or show them this video. Yeah. There's nothing.
Or have them talk to the doctor if it's that big a deal. I'm sure the gynecologist or just the general practitioner will say, these are the facts.
There's nothing wrong with like tampons or menstrual cups. Like it's just part of being a girl, and it's going to make sports and swimming and activities just so much easier. And just like day-to-day life.
I think so.
Yeah. I couldn't wait to stop using pads. I felt like I was wearing a diaper.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Depends.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to kind of go in with knowing, Mom, this is why I want to use them. This is why I think they're good. And, I mean, moms are usually understanding and open because they have gone through it all too. So don't be afraid to talk to your mom about tampons or cups. And there's plenty of information out there that you can show them, pull up on your phone or your computer and show them why it's a good thing. So yes. Okay, so that was that one. Now into my questions. How did you feel when Veronica and I were getting closer to puberty? And you touched on this earlier, but when we were like, I don't know, 8 and 9, and you knew like puberty was coming.
it was just another part of life. I was never uptight about it. I don't think I was uptight about it.
No, you're very, like, cool, calm, and relaxed.
Yeah.
But did you ever, like, get worried or nervous that you weren't going to explain things right or thoroughly enough or in the right way?
No, I don't think so. I really don't. I think I was more nervous when you started dating boys. Than I was. True. Yes, than I was ever.
Were you, like, excited for us to be, like, to get our periods so, like, we're in the same club as you?
No.
No.
I saw it as one more expense. Okay.
2 daughters.
2 daughters. Oh my.
Okay.
So.
Was there any way in which you prepared yourself for giving us the information we needed about periods? Like, did you read books, research stuff, talk to your friends? Or you just, like, didn't care?
You really put me on the spot. I was just really laid back about it. I just wasn't uptight, so.
That's good. Yeah,
I was just very open if you had a question. I'm sure I would have probably given you a book about it.
Maybe that's why I'm such a book nerd these days, is because you give me books for everything.
You want to learn how to ice skate? Here's a book.
Yeah, you're actually going to go ice skate.
But here's a book on ice skating.
Yeah.
So, and see, that was before the internet and everything else. I just think it would have been so much easier. And they've got all these YouTube videos out there now. You can learn how to do anything. And I just think it's so much easier in a way to inform your child or even inform yourself on things about being a woman.
Do you think that there's something to be said about actually having a conversation versus, like, sending them a link to a website?
Well, yes, it's a lot more personal to actually sit down with your daughter. And it's still, I think, I go back to when you were growing up, we were living on one income, your dad's, and so money was really tight. And now that we have 2 incomes, which is very, very nice, I look back and I think,
and we're all grown up and gone.
Well, I miss you guys terribly, but I just think it would be fun to just take a weekend, a girls' weekend, and if you didn't feel comfortable as a mom to do it, go with another BFF girlfriend with her daughters or whatever, and just make it a women's retreat. And I think that would be really good.
We talked about it.
But make it very special.
A retreat.
Yes.
Next question. Do you remember our reactions to getting our periods? Or, like, when you first found out or we first told you? Or any of that? Or, like, our first year or, like, couple months of having it?
No, you guys were really secretive.
Yeah?
Yes, you were. You were very secretive.
I should bring Veronica on here and talk to her about it.
I think you would have thrown me under the bus, both of you.
Do you think Veronica was more secretive or I was?
I think you both were.
Do you think that's normal?
I think you were probably more secretive, if I think about it now.
Probably.
Yes. You were quiet back then.
Do you think that's just, like, something normal, something with being that age? Or do you think...
I think it was your personality.
Okay. What do we say?
You're more outgoing now.
This is kind of off of another question that someone asked,
okay.
But do you have any regrets or anything you wish you would have talked to us about more in depth?
That is a very good question. I'm
not saying you should live with regrets or have any regrets.
No, I will not have regrets. Good. I think I would have liked to talk to you more about just what it means to be a woman and sexuality and feeling empowered as a woman and not always feeling like, you have to be somebody like, oh, if I don't have a boyfriend, I'm nobody. I think I really wanted you to feel comfortable with who you were and, you have a voice of your own more than anything else.
Do you think we have voices of our own now?
Yes, I do. I do.
Who has a louder voice of their own, me or Veronica?
Right now, you.
Because you're right next to me.
No, I really do. I think she's really a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
She really is. She has surprised me with some of the stuff that she says, and I look at her and I go, wow. I mean, like light bulb moment, and I'm thinking, I wish I had been that wise at that age.
She's an old soul, but then again...
She is very much an
But
old
if you
soul.
like pry and you dig deep, she really opens up.
Yes, she
You
does.
get into the juicy bits.
Yes.
That's what I found.
You need to have her on.
Maybe I will. She's gonna, well, she's helping me out with stuff, but I can't say that. There's a surprise. Anyways.
Okay.
What was your mother's attitude around periods, and how do you think that shaped you?
That was a whole nother generation of
Mm-hmm.
very private, you don't talk about things.
Like, did you know when your mom was on her period?
Yeah, there was a huge box of Kotex. You couldn't miss it. It was just like...
You just flop it out?
Yeah, it was just like alongside the toilet. And I mean, the pads were huge and you had to wear a belt with them. And I mean, there was no hiding those in your pocket or in your hand. So
When you started your period, did they still have the belts?
yes.
At what point did it switch over to the sticky pads?
Those were called Stay Free. I remember the brand. And they came in a box and it was like the most coolest thing ever. And I think I must have had to wear the stupid belt with the pad for a couple of months before I think my mom went out and got me some of those.
Did you have to beg her for it?
No, she actually came home with them. I didn't even know they were there. So yeah, they've improved those things a lot. They used to have one little strip of adhesive right in the middle, so it was hit or miss.
I wonder who it was that was like, first came up with like, we should make sticky pads.
I don't know, but when I was in Norway, they had these pads, and they were called jeans. And they had like extra padding up in your one area there. Mm-hmm. And I thought, whoa, that makes more sense because that's where it's actually coming out. But I never saw them come out here in the United States. But they were in Norway. So it was like
thicker in the middle?
Yeah, it was like contoured to your body.
Interesting.
It was very interesting.
I think I need to take a business trip to Norway.
Yes, called jeans. So.
That is all the questions I have. Is there anything else?
Oh, interesting fun fact. When it came time for tampons in my life, my mother actually sent me in the bathroom with my grandmother.
Instead of her,
because my mom never used tampons.
But your grandma did?
I don't know, but she was the one who went into the bathroom with me. And she didn't actually, she just said, here it is, this is what you do with it, and then walked out.
Did you
That was the most instruction I got.
Did it work the first time you tried?
Heck no.
How many times did it take you?
Oh my gosh, I thought it was the most painful thing. Mm-hmm. I was just, like, seriously, you're supposed to stick that up there?
Going back to
what?
I don't know how old you were when you tried tampons, but going back to little first time using tampon Laura, is there anything you'd want to tell yourself? Any tips or like advice?
Relax. Yes, relax and breathe.
I think that's what I said too.
Yeah, relax and breathe and find a product that works for you.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any funny period stories?
Like what?
Like funny ones or like embarrassing ones?
Oh, I've got a lot of embarrassing ones.
Do you have any funny embarrassing ones?
Oh gosh. When we were in 5th grade, we had gym uniforms. And of course, let's make them mustard yellow.
Okay.
And they had elastic on like where the thighs are. Mm-hmm. And they were short sleeved. And I think they might have snapped up the front or something.
Okay.
And God help you if you got your period in one of those. Let's just end there. So,
Did a lot of girls get their periods?
There's been a few. Yeah.
There's been a few.
In that mustard yellow.
Did you?
Gym class. I think I did, yes.
Did you like notice it before it was really noticeable?
Of course not.
I think there's only like one point in my life where I like bled through jeans.
Oh. Now, I know you have a younger audience, but when you do get older, there are times when it's just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Like the time I went to yoga class in the morning, And it was like, I was 53, maybe 54. I walked into class, I'm stretching out, looked down, and I'm like, oh, gotta leave.
Was it like on your mat?
No, it was all over my yoga pants, and I had to leave. It was
How did you,
6
like, were
o'clock
you,
in the
like,
morning.
stretching like this?
Yeah, thank God. I must
You
have
just
been touching my toe. Yes. I told Allison, I said, oh, Allison, I have to leave.
You told her why?
Yeah, I did.
Do you feel like you've had a lot of good conversations about, like, periods and, like, reproductive things with your friends?
I think so. I think the older I've gotten, the more open and more comfortable I've gotten with my body. I've got a younger friend who's like 34, 35, and we've talked about having kids and kind of going through that whole stage. So yeah, the whole reproductive aspect.
I was just wondering if I'm like a weird uterus fanatic.
What do you mean uterus fanatic?
I just really like talking about periods and stuff with my friends.
You do.
I know.
You talk to strange guys about your period and menstrual cups and...
Yep. I mean, that's who I am.
Yes, it is.
And with that, I think that's all I have.
Okay.
I have a feeling there's going to be more videos.
I think so.
In the future with you, Laura.
I think so. Yes, Victoria.
All these topics are flittering in my mind.
Oh, I've got lots of topics.
Okay. That's all. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you waved too. That's so good.